So I think we'll start off on this side of the garden. The grass hadn't been cut for a very, very, very long time because I was so busy digging on the other plot, and it started to grow into the beds. So if you have grass in your allotment, good idea is to keep on top of it, because I had a lot of cutting to do and it was quite difficult to cut the long grass with the push mower. We've had this lovely hyacinth come up. Let's have a look at it. I've never grown this one before, but it's absolutely beautiful. Look at that. Absolutely stunning. Yeah. And we've got this poppy growing over here. Came up from last year. I think we've got another poppy coming up here. Either that's a poppy or a weed. But I've planted out my stock night scented. I've just squeezed one in there. I don't know how they grow. I've never grown them before, but apparently they annuals and they die after a year, and they release a beautiful scent, and they don't grow that big. So I've just squeezed it over here, hoping that, you know, something will come of it. But other than that, the pansies are looking really great in this bed. Absolutely gorgeous. Right. This was the new bed that I dug out from last time, and because I was so slow at planting anything inside there, my husband has planted some beetroot inside there. I've also planted, yesterday actually, I planted this marigold inside here. We've got a sunflower at the back, and over there that's a sage, one of the sage that I've been growing. And let's have a little look around over here. Some more marigold here. I've just planted some marigold in this, under this bed over here, under the rosemary. So I hope that will come up. What is that, Esther? That's an allium.
I love this.
Do you? Smells lovely. Oh, and look, our beautiful purple allium has opened up in the middle. Can you see? This is a purple allium. Esther, can you say allium?
Allium.
Well done.
I love it.
You love it. Thank you for picking that beautiful flower for me. Over here, they're gorgeous. Oh, lovely, my love. Now we both have one. These are our potatoes over here that we started off in the glass house and that I planted out here with Esther. And what I did was I dug them up with soil, and then because we were going to have that frost, I put manure over it. And the reason why I put manure over it was because we were watching the Victorian kitchen garden on the BBC, but actually on YouTube. And they said that a manure releases a lot of heat, obviously because it's decomposing matter, it releases heat. And I thought when we had that frost, best to put some manure over it to act as a shield, a little blanket to stop the potatoes from getting all, hit by the frost. And I also put this grass over the potatoes because I went to go cut some grass and I had grass left over, so I was just like, oh, put it on top. It's a little experiment. I know it's not the traditional way of growing potatoes, but it doesn't look like it's turning into a compost heap. I'm keeping an eye on it, so that's what I was worried about. Anyway, moving on to this bit over here. Some more marigold here. My husband has planted some beetroot, and the leeks are doing well. Remember, he planted the leeks in here with Esther, and Esther's been watering it. Got a sunflower over there. Your beetroot? Oh. Come look, she says. Where's the beetroot, Esther?
This is the beetroot. Isn't what's going in here?
That's an old daffodil stem, my love bug.
Look, this is a snail.
That is a snail. What's the snail doing, Esther?
It's trying to get up there, and it's going to hang out there.
Thank you, Esther, for sharing that with us. Can we go have a look at the celeriac?
Yeah.
Go on, let's go have a look at the celeriac. So the celeriac is behind here. One of our neighbours gave us the celeriac, and they look like very strong plants. Later on, my husband found out that actually they also get attacked by the carrot root fly, so it's best to grow them under cover, but we just don't have time to put netting up over it. And then over here, we've got our squash which we planted out. I know it's still May, but we took our chances. Yes, it is growing very, very, very big. It might need to be pulled out. Looks like it's going to set seed.
Yeah.
But maybe not now, Esther. Maybe later. Okay?
Look, she has to eat it.
Yeah, you can eat those leaves. They're for eating.
How much?
Okay, let's put your. I'm gonna put it here, Esther. All right. So what I did was they actually did get hit by the frost, and then after that day, I put some manure around it just to keep it warm. But I think next year, if I do decide to plant out any squash before the end of May, I'll definitely put some manure around to keep it warm after watching the Victorian kitchen garden. You having fun? Ah, you're putting the leaf on there. Lovely sound of the birds in the background. It is interesting. So we've got our broad beans growing here, and this has been covered by the fleece. These are the climbing French beans over here. So that's that. Okay, drink your milk, my love bug. Everything else is still growing nicely underneath the netting, so that's quite good. And asparagus has come up. There are bugs in there, there are aphids on there, and Daddy sprayed it, didn't he? He sprayed it with some organic stuff. So we've got some asparagus coming up here. Absolutely awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I love asparagus, and it's growing in between these strawberries. But they really, look, you can see them coming through here. Lovely.
I love you, I love you.
I love you too. So I just cut them because we don't have that many, and then I fry them up at home, and everybody just helps themselves out the pan. It's great. We've got some more squash growing at the back there, which I've put some manure over it. You can see where they've been hit by the frost because the leaves have gone all brown and yellow, but fortunately there are more green leaves coming from the base, so that's positive. This is little Esther's bed, her Sweet Williams, her sage, marigold, broad bean, sunflower, lupin, and stockman nut scented are all planted inside here. I had Esther and her friend here, and they potted up the sage over here. Absolutely amazing job. They didn't have to think about it. I was quite nervous about how it would turn out having two-year-olds potting up my sage, but I mean, look at them. Great, and they've done a swell job, these little kids. So don't be afraid, you know, let your kids have a go at doing things. This is the lupin. I'm going to give one of the lupins away as well as one of the stock nut scented and one of the sage to somebody at church. But I definitely want to plant the rest of the sage into my new allotment. Got the carrots growing nicely at the back, potatoes. We added more compost to the bags, to the grow bags. Yesterday I did some weeding in here because it was a horrific sight. It would have been good if I'd actually been able to show you, but it was horrible. Weeds just growing everywhere in this compost. Carrots, now you can see the rows after yesterday because it was just one big mess of weeds and oh, it's horrible. But my love, can you put your juice on the floor? Put it on the table, thank you. That's one thing about kids, they always want to give you everything to hold in your hand, personally. So, yeah, our little outdoor cold frame, as we call it. It's not a cold frame, but that's what we call it. It's doing well, yeah. And so, underneath here is actually carrots, and I'll show you. Look at these ones. Dum-da-da-dum. Quite small, alright? But look at these ones underneath this cover. Amazing, isn't it? So we've just put this plastic thing over it to stop the carrot root fly coming in. I'm going to have to fix that up in a minute. Yeah, but it's doing quite well underneath there. Just give it a bit of water every now and then. Right, lettuce is doing really well over here. Looking great. It's ready to harvest. I have some lettuce at home from the shop, but next week I will start harvesting this lettuce over here. First time I've grown lettuce, and it's absolutely great. And Esther, do you know what's growing over here? They're not carrots, they're peas. So I've cleared up this area over here where it was all full of muck, and this is where the old shed used to be. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. Look, Look at that. Trying to tie me up. Honestly, the ideas kids get. Alright, so I cleared out this area so it's ready for planting. And my husband planted some peas in there yesterday. So we'll sort out the netting at a later stage. Let's have a look inside the glass house.
No, you can't.
Oh, look at this. So the door's open, alright, and we've got the staging over here acting as a barrier because we do have foxes on the allotment side. There's actually a lady who feeds them. I don't know why she feeds them, but she does. And that's what she does. So let's just try and get through here. It's a good way of stopping things from getting into your glass house.
Boom, boom, boom.
Right. After all of that, let's go inside. Dun, 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 dun. Now you can see it's looking a lot more empty because we planted loads of things out, and all the tomatoes are at the bottom here, and they're growing quite tall. So that's that. Some dill coming up, and the verbascum white is at the back there. That needs to be potted up seriously. The sweet corn is ready to go out when it's time to go out. Esther, my love. Oi, she's trying to tie my 2 feet together. Trust your kids, eh? And these are our peppers. So sweet peppers and chili peppers, mainly chili peppers. And we've got some tomatoes still. And this is my sweet potato, doing so well over here. And loads of squash and pumpkins ready to go out. More sweet corn up here. Potatoes, my sweet potato experiment. There are actually some roots underneath there, but I don't want to move it too much now that it's developing some roots. And obviously the marigold seeds have fallen in there because the marigolds are right next to the sweet potatoes when Esther was playing with them. So that's that. Clear as daylight over here. Basil, hooray! And celery is growing at the back of that. Some rockets. Next time maybe I'll grow it in a pot like I'll grow the lettuce, and it'll be easier to harvest and whatnot. Aubergine over here, and some more squash and beans over here. So yeah, that's about it in the glass house. I've just realised that I haven't shown you one of the beds, so let's go and take a look. So this is the bed that I haven't shown you. We've put some fleece over it because there's squash underneath there, and we had that frost a couple of days ago in May. And we've got some potatoes growing in there. We didn't plant them, they were just there. My husband's planted some beetroot in the front here. Anyway, you can plant the beetroot. And this is the peas, obviously. We've got the pea netting and whatnot here. And this is just a little update on what's happening with the these are not chives, they are spring onions that we planted. Remember, I had them at home and we were talking about reusing our vegetables from home, and Esther planted this here. So that's how they are looking at the moment. Looks like they're going to flower, but we'll, keep a watchful eye on it, see what happens. And I've planted some stock night scented here all along this bed. There it is. And I think I planted some marigolds and some sunflower and a sunflower at the bottom of this bed. It's kind of like a really totally loads of stuff is just planted inside this bed at the moment. So yeah, that's pretty much about it on this side. I think that's how it looks. Very beautiful, I think. Let's take a look at the other allotment plot. So before we go, do you remember I sowed some poppy seeds down here? Well, they haven't come up, and they haven't come up in the other bed either. So I don't know if I can actually sow any more poppy seeds at this stage, because I can see some poppies coming up on other people's allotments. So yeah, I'm gonna have to maybe sow it in a seed tray next year. Yeah, that's that. Dum da da dum. Thank you, Esther. Another bottle of juice. Esther is like a fish, she loves to drink. Okay, so this is the new bed, the bed that I built, and my husband has planted in all these beans, the French climbing beans and some runner beans, I think. I've got a row of sunflowers at the front. I've got the Stockman nut scented planted at the bottom. I've got marigolds at the end, squash inside here, so just loads of things going on here. I've got some celery growing in this new bed which I've done, except I haven't put a border around it, and some sunflowers, and yeah, I've got my lupin, so I've got one lupin there. And there used to be a box over there at the back there, but I've now placed it over there. Yeah, moved it out the way because it's just all rotten and stuff. You can see the wood from the base all rotted away. Now there's no base on it anymore. Take a look. Yeah, no base. So gonna have to sort that out. I found this blue plastic covering thing inside this box over here, and I was going to fold it up, but we decided to put it over this side of the plot just to perhaps stop the weeds from growing so much, but the weeds just seem to be growing and growing, so we have a suspicion that it's letting the light through. Not really letting the water through, as you can see there's some water piles and stuff. So yeah, tulips that my husband got us up there, and all that junk from the other plots is down here now. So gradually working our way over things and through things and what. Everything's a big mess now over here. Raspberries that I started to clear up, gonna have to be left for another day, really. Yeah. So today our plan of action is to start digging a new bed over here. And perhaps one of the first things I need to do is get some more pieces of wood to reinforce this bed over here. I don't actually have the drill, so I won't be able to screw it in. This is giving me another thing to hold. So, yeah. From Esther and I here at Allotment. Bye for now.